Disclaimer, I am blind, so I cannot see or adjust the picture, so if the picture is not of good quality, sorry, but that's a blind person making a video. Good morning. Like usually happens, there is not time, well, I don't know about usual, but there is not time for me to cook anything. It's my window
9:42 a.m. and 44 seconds.
technically opens in like 3 minutes. And I don't know if they're going to come at the beginning of the window or the end of the window, but there's still not time to cook stuff, but it's okay. These will keep me going till for the next like 2 hours or so, and then I am going to try lunch at a coffee shop / deli / I mean, I don't know what you would call that, but that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to North Star to work with someone on my resume, get it perfected. Maybe, I don't know if I'm going to do this now or later, but maybe I should also look at getting a resume filled out or uploaded or however it happens to Indeed, so that if I actually get the guts to try to apply for something, I can through Indeed. That would take more guts than I think I have, but I do think that I should do both of those things at some point. Unfortunately, my trip to a potential job on Friday got canceled because the employment coordinator called the boss of the place that I would be working at if I was going to have that job, and he said, well, it's really fast-paced. It's a conveyor belt that moves like 10 miles an hour, and I don't know what she said, but he didn't think it would be a good fit for me, and he's probably right, because even though even though sorting seems easy enough, to load a conveyor belt that leaves and comes back like a minute later and expects another load, I wouldn't be able to separate out various kinds of recycling that quickly. So, dang it. Why is it that when I try to double tap to turn this thing off, what it feels is a rotation of a dial, and so it activates the router?
03. Stop recording video.
I'm going to have to call Apple Accessibility, I guess, and they're going to have to tell me,
Screen lock.
first of all, what I'm looking for and how to do it with, well, I'm calling them because I use VoiceOver. This is why I wanted my watch, my Apple Watch, paired with something other than my iPhone SE, which is my just everything phone. But pairing it to this, even though this is a new iPhone 6, for some reason it didn't seem to be working, and it really, what I would love to do would be to pair it to one of the 3 or 4 iPod touches that I have, but that is not possible. Apple did not design the Apple Watch, apparently, to interact with an iPod Touch. It has to be an iPhone. And I don't know if it's meant to interact with an iPad or not, but I am not buying an iPad simply for watch access, even if it was. So I had to pair it to this, which isn't necessarily a huge problem. It's just that when I get text messages, I don't want the notification to come in only on my watch. It actually comes in on the phone, or it used to. Now it doesn't. I mean, yes it does, but it comes in on the phone as a thing that VoiceOver does not say anything about, and it does not make a sound. The sound comes in on the watch. First of all, that's not a very loud sound. Second of all, what if I've got the watch turned off and I want my phone making noises when a text comes in? And there's got to be a way to make that happen in settings, I would think, I would hope. I know that there is. But I haven't been able to figure out how to make that happen. I'm going to have to call them, and I'm not going all the way back to the Apple Store for that. Even going to Simply Mac shouldn't be necessary if I can just call them. And I keep talking about getting a new camera. If I got a new camera, would it have a lock button so that I could take it out? I mean, first of all, would it fit in my pocket? Second of all, would it have a lock button or something so that I didn't record a whole bunch of nothing while I was waiting for the next thing that was actually worth recording to happen, or waiting for myself to think of something? Because these audio machines, these MP3 players and stuff, those have got lock screens. Or the screen locks up, or you can lock the screen up. And that's the way it needs to be. What's the weather outside?
Okay, the temperature today will range between 55 degrees and 80 degrees.
What is it now? What is the temperature?
It's currently 64 degrees.
That's what I wanted to know. After the other day, I'd rather be too safe. I'll put a jacket on. Anyway, yeah. Like I keep saying, just because somebody's got a GoPro, I mean, I've heard of GoPros. I've heard of GoPros plenty of times, but this is about the second time I've heard of a blind person having a GoPro. And I would consider getting one, but I insist on going into a store and looking at one. I'm not just gonna open it, or I'm not gonna just order one on Amazon just because it's there. Because I know what's gonna happen there. I'll get this box, and I'll open it, and I'll have no idea how to work it. I'll have no idea, you know, nothing. And finding someone to help me would be I mean, I don't have 3 million built-in friends, and obviously there are plenty of people in the world that know how to work with stuff like that, but sometimes it seems like the people I've got the easiest access to are the people that are the most inexperienced with technology and would look at something like that and say, I have no idea. I don't know anything more about that than you do. I might even know less than you do. So, sorry this vlog is so boring to start out with, but I'm still waiting for the ride. I came outside because I tried to call to find out how much longer it was going to be, and I'm going to be standing here on hold forever. And I'm like, well, if they actually show up, I want to be out here when they show up. At least that hopefully will save a little bit of time. I was hoping that was my ride, but seeing as how they just drove right past like that, that's not it. I had a window of 9:45 to 10:15, and it's 10:30, and I'm still waiting. Any idea how much longer it'll be? Yes. Sure. Yeah. They're calling the driver to find out what's taking so long. This is why from time to time, I do this. I may have to start doing it more and more often. They're sending a cab now to try to make up for somebody's screw up. Apparently, there were two of us with the same window, meaning two people who live at this place and use this transit service. The driver picked up the wrong person, which doesn't happen to me very often. It's happened to me once with a cab. I'm not going to rehash that whole story, but now they're sending a cab to try to make this right. I'm going, well, make sure they realize that, they can't just sit in the parking space and idle for 5 minutes and drive off. They do need to, because I don't trust, lately, the cab drivers that I have had have been pretty good about getting their butt out of the car and speaking to me, but I don't in general trust this cab company. Maybe I should have just said, forget it, I'll take an Uber, but I didn't. I'm going to give them a chance to make it right, but
10:39 a.m. and 20 seconds.
Oh, okay.
If much more time passes and they don't get here, I may have to call them and let them know I'm going to be late. This is why I need to get in the habit of meeting up with the driver, and if it hasn't been established by now, saying, you are here for Ann, correct? You know, or verify, or just because I might not trust, this is why you don't just trust that, okay, well, there's a driver out here, it must be for me. Or, they're here, this is who they say they're from, they're for me. If at all possible, I'm still gonna come. Maybe I need to check in with Aaron. I don't know. It's like, oh, jeez. It's like 15 minutes, give or take, away from the time I'm supposed to be there, and I'm having transportation issues. I don't know if I'm gonna make it there on time. That's what I'm trying to convey to someone. Now I'm calling the cab company. Well, I'm actually starting to wonder if... I'll be there. So help me God, I'll be there. Will it be on time or late? I don't know. But will anyone really even be there to work with me? I don't know. Because I just tried to check in, and apparently no one's there that I actually am supposed to be working with. So I don't know what the hell to do. Well, yes, I do know what to do. I think that's them. I'm getting in the cab and leaving. Yeah. Thank you for talking to me. They don't always do that.
Oh. You didn't have a sign on you saying who you were, so
Well,
I assume you probably were.
Some people, I don't know how all I know is this company in general kind of has a history of missing those of us who are using the lift, but fortunately it worked out this time, and good, because I didn't have any time for the other things to... Basically, they called you guys to get them out of there, or not to get them out, but they called you guys to make their screw up right. One of their drivers picked up the wrong person, and I don't know where that person ended up, bless their heart, but...
Oh, the lift?
I'm supposed to be there in like 5 minutes, and I called, I was like, okay, are you guys coming or what? And they said, well, let me get to the bottom of this. Yeah, and they did get the wrong person, and I'm sure that wrong person will contact customer service or something about being taken to someplace that they had no what are you dropping me off here for? This ain't where I'm going. But fortunately,
well, it's pretty standard to make sure you identify your customer, because that's happened to me. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I've picked up the wrong person because they had multiple people at the same address. And
yeah, there's I don't even know how many people that uses this location.
Yeah, there's several.
Or rather, that lives at this location that uses this service. But yeah, it can happen, but that's also why. Yeah, it's actually happened to me once where a driver, as a matter of fact, a cab driver. Well, the first cab driver, like I said, either didn't even try to knock on the door when it was multiple people in the house or whatever. The first cab driver completely didn't get to me at all. The second one was there for one person and picked up me instead. So that's why, between that and this, I'm thinking that it's probably a good idea for me as the customer to say, you are here to pick me up, right? Or maybe verify the drop-off address or something to make sure that by the end of it, I'll get to where I need to go without having to jump through 20 hoops to try to do it. Or take even longer because they think they're picking one person up and they don't know where they're going. Or well, I did everything I could do. I called them. And let them know.
11:02 a.m.
I'm supposed to be there right now, but I called in and told someone. I don't know who the right person was to have called, but I thought of 2 different people that I could have told, and apparently neither one of them was there, so I don't know. I don't know. I'll just get there and figure out what to do from there. Maybe the person that I'm supposed to meet with actually got there. Okay. Now I'm going to this cafe, restaurant kind of place. Hopefully I'll have time to talk about it when I'm there. I'm hoping to feel like just a relaxed time. I don't know how relaxed it's going to be because the ride going home is at 1:50 something and it's 1:10 home. I'm just now on my way there. My devices are such a pain in the butt when you don't have the most up-to-date software. There's either remind me later or install tonight. I wish there was a choice that said, I don't plan on updating, stop bugging me about it every chance you get. I just am one of these people that just because there's a later and greater upgrade doesn't mean I want to jump on it yet. Let me have blind people say it's great, it doesn't have any voiceover problems, it doesn't have any voiceover bugs that need to be fixed. Then I'll update. In general, that's my feeling about things. Because I don't trust that one of the more person ever uses the accessibility feature, but I need to keep that feature functional later and further. Although Apple itself is, I know Apple itself is pretty good about that, but even they are not immune to bugs that screw things up. I know when it's brought to Apple's attention that there is a bug, they fix it, but I just don't want that bug biting when I can completely avoid it if I opt out of that software update. At least with the App Store, you can just not update if you don't want to. With iOS, you either update or you have this machine with a pain in the butt until it decides to. Okay, so now I'm at the restaurant, cafe, coffee shop, whatever you want to call it. And I realized last week, of course I was just sitting at the Sprint store, but I realized how nice it is to just get out of the house and just sit and relax and vlog and just kind of do whatever, but do it outside of the house, you know. It's just sort of, even though I like being at home, there's something about just getting out that can be nice. And I'm not really going to have the best experience with it today. Well, yes, So far, I have been having a pretty good experience with it. I'm concerned about the timing because my ride is due at around 1:50 or so, 1:52, something like that, and it is already 1:31. But I choose to believe that'll work out, and in the future I need to maybe schedule it a little differently. Deliberately give myself more time. Maybe, yeah, I'll figure it out. I don't know if you can see this. Tuna sandwich. I'm liking it so far. Well, in spite of the initial technical issues here. In spite of the issues with the lift this morning, once I finally got to North Star, we got the resume done. God, I thought we were just gonna have to revise it, maybe put a little bit of information in. The whole thing had to be rewritten. I don't know who wrote it last time or what they were doing in terms of formatting or what, but the woman that I worked with today on it was saying, yeah, this really doesn't look right. And well, first and foremost, there was an error in the contact information. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, I'm not going to put a resume out with a bad email address. So yeah, there needed to be changes to it, and then the computer wouldn't let her change it. She's like, let me just print this out and rewrite the whole thing. So now, at least I've got a good resume. It's saved in their computer. I was gonna save it in my I was gonna save it on my thumb drive, but just when we got it done, my lift showed up. So I was like, just save it on the computer. I'll get it another day. So at least now I've got a good resume that we can print out and give to people, and that I can save on my flash drive and have. And until the job developer at hold on, I'm sorry, I've got this idea that if I put my phone there and I'm talking up here, you might not be able to hear me. So until the job developer that my voc rehab counselor has called in and I get a chance to actually come up with a plan on what to do and start doing it. Right now we're at the stage where she's asking me a bunch of questions and writing down the answers. So in the meantime, I'm gonna start emailing potential jobs to the
1:39 p.m. and 42 seconds.
North Star job developer, and hopefully between her and me and the job developer that Voc Rehab called in, when we get the intake process taken care of and me, we'll find me a job sooner than later. And with that being said, I have like 10 minutes before my ride is expected. I've got to stop vlogging and eat. But I think if I schedule it right, this could be my new hangout, grab a bite to eat, sip on some iced tea or sparkling water in this case, or hot chocolate if I want it, or I'm not going to have hot chocolate now, it's 70-something degrees out, but or whatever, and just sit and vlog and hang out and chill outside of the home. I guess if I accidentally screw up the thing and something ends up displaced, if it's not too serious, I guess I can just kind of put it up anyway. That's what I've done so far. I hate when that happens. I try to stop it, but I know some people they do their video today and then they do they cap their video off with something from yesterday's video. I'm like, yeah, I don't like that all that much. But if I end up having to do that from time to time because we had the random displaced clip, I guess that's better than, especially if they're as long as they are. I hate to just completely throw out the whole vlog because something got displaced, but
See you.
depending on how bad the displacement is, it might be okay. Although, again, ideally, I'd just be able to avoid those altogether. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close out this vlog, and I hope you like what you've seen, and if so, I hope you will like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.